Hi everybody and welcome to this free webinar. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to give you guys tarot readings. I'm going to explain why I'm getting what I'm getting so you learn as you watch. This week coming will be some tutorials on how you can and it's going to be one tutorial where you can actually determine the star sign of someone. So in a soulmate reading, for example, when you're doing a soulmate reading for yourself and you want to know who is your soulmate, one way you can determine who your soulmate is by finding out their astrology. So there's going to be a video tutorial just about that, and on some other things as well. And this week, basically what I've done is I've started re-recording a lot of the videos for my Arrows course, and also I'm adding things to the soulmate course, just things that I think will be important. So the soulmate course is all about how to determine and predict who's your soulmate through meditation and also healing from past relationships. And I'm going to add a few things to that one as well. So that course is always kind of upgraded. So once you're in, you're always going to be a member of that course. I'm never going to take it down, and whatever I'm adding to it, you get all that information. The Arrows course, the reason why I upgraded those videos is that when I first started making the videos, I only had my phone basically, and now I have this set up with I can show you guys a bit better what I'm doing. So basically what I am doing, I'll see if I can show you guys now actually. I don't know, but basically this bit here, can I show you? Yeah, this bit here. On the Arrows course now, I just pull it up like this, so then you guys can really easily see what I'm doing with the cards and things like that. So I do a lot of instructional videos, how to time event using the arrows, how to find location doing the arrows, how to recognize a soulmate, lots of different things like that. And how to read card combination. That is basically what the arrows were meant for, was just to how to read card combinations. Because all of my questions a lot of my questions are how do you read these card combinations together and things like that. So the way I do it is first you can look at what showed up versus what didn't, then you can look at the individual cards later on. So you read the card groups and then you narrow it down to the arrows, and then you read the individual cards. So then you become much more specific then. And it will lead you to where you need to go in the reading, whether it's relationship, career, whether there's a big move happening in the seeker's life, and lots of different things. So, the first question I'm going to answer is from Edith. I'm going to give you a general reading for love and romance. The person you're interested in is already in a relationship, so I can only recommend that you avoid this because it can only cause you a lot of heartache. And also, the person that is meant for you will be single and available for you. So, where we are confused and where we get very emotional and stressed and upset, that is often a sign that the person is not actually a soulmate, because the confusion is actually a sign that you're on the wrong track. So where you feel really confused, that's kind of like a red flag there. So, and that's for everybody watching as well. If you're very confused when it comes to somebody, nothing seems straightforward, then that can be a sign that that is actually not a soulmate. So the divine soulmate is someone who be very familiar to you, and you'll feel like you already know the person. So let's find out a little bit more about Edith's situation here. We're going to do a love reading for you. I'm going to ask about your soulmate, your divine soulmate. What's going on there? So any information that you need will come out. So Two of Swords basically is at the bottom, so that means that you're just basically waiting at the moment. And there's not much you can really do at this stage. There's a lot of work ahead of you. You get 10 of Wands. And you have been hurt as well in love and been disappointed. And the reason why you feel stuck at the moment and you feel like nothing is happening is actually that there's some old pain that you haven't really actually let go of yet, and you need to look into and something really disappointed you, and now you might be manifesting. Well, you're manifesting love where it can't be anything, where there's no potential. So, and then you do that as because you want to feel safe. You don't want to get hurt again, but you need to release this pain here. Once you do, you feel a lot different, and you manifest differently as well. So at the moment, you need to deal with those issues. You need to deal with your pain. Nine of Swords. Don't avoid it, because avoiding it is not going to make it go away. It's just going to get buried deeper into your subconscious, and it's going to show up in some way. And it's going to often show up in how you, again, are manifesting a soulmate. So you could then end up ending up in bad relationships. So now is the time for you to look into something that really hurt you. It could be a long time ago, and it depends. It's something that was very almost soul-destroying, okay? Three of Cups is in the distant past. That means that this is actually also what is in the subconscious, and it's helping you move forward. So friendships, they're going to be important. And the recent, recent past, you get strength. So that means that at the moment you are actually, what is good about this situation is that now you really know who you are, and you can't be influenced in a way that will lead you astray. So that basically means that the inner strength that you have now, that is something that a lot of people actually are lacking, because they've always been in a relationship. They just go from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next. But because you've been on your own, you have something that other people lack, and that is that inner strength of actually knowing who you are. Queen of Swords is in the future, so that means that you're going to be you're probably so picky and so discerning as well on who you let in, that you could actually be too discerning to the point where even a soulmate wouldn't be able to come through. So this card shows up for the woman scorned, actually. And it has to do with this again. So this is something you need to look into now. The World. So you're the woman scorned who also knows herself really well, and you can trust your soul. Just make sure that you don't push away the right person as well. Communication is going to be extremely important in how you recognize your soulmate. This person could be on his way into your life. He's being represented here by Six of Swords. So this is a future partner. So this is someone who's very organized, who is moving on with his life, and his life hasn't always been easy either. Surprises, Four of Pentacles. So that means that there is a financial reward coming in your life, where you could even, you're going to have more abundance, more financial rewards. And that's going to help you create a lifestyle that you really enjoy. And you get the Nine of Cups, which is a wish fulfilled. There's a new lifestyle, a new level of enjoying life. And it comes through your social group as well. So now it's a time for you to really enjoy your life. But I feel like this card is the most important card. So that means that when you meet your soulmate's going to be able to connect with your social group as well and be part of that. So you're going to share the same social group. Now I have my cards here. Let's get some extra information. So I use this is a deck I designed in 2010. It's called the Massive Life with the Norse Gods and Goddesses, and they're going to be back in for sale soon. But I'm going to make them a bit smaller because these are really hard to shuffle. They're too big. But they give you some good answers, and they additional information. They really supplement the tarot really well, I think. So, find out a little bit more who is the archetype of your soulmate. I'm going to use the male energy coming through the cards. You guys can do this for yourself as well, because there's a video on this. This video is in the link. Where you can pick a number and you get the male archetype of your soulmate. So for you, Edith, I'm going to find out some more information. So I'm waiting until I get the... Okay, so you get Frey. So that means that Frey is the most positive card in the whole deck, actually. It's two cards that are extremely positive. That's one of them. The other one is Sol, meaning sun. But Frey, as an archetype energy, someone who loves animals, someone who's extremely intelligent. This is more, like way above average. Who's incredibly caring and loving and like a healer type. So this is someone who you'll have a lot of similar interests, okay, and you might even share the same life purpose. This is someone who will create some kind of it will create good vibes, good energy. So this is someone who it says fertility, but the god Frey is actually the god of horses. So this is someone who has an ability to understand anything living, has a warmth, the healing energy. And often it shows up when someone is in some sort of role where they have to help others, including animals. This sometimes shows up when someone is either a vet or a doctor, or they're in some sort of role where they're using their intelligence, their caring ability to help others. So this is your soulmate. This is the archetype of your soulmate. This soulmate is incredibly honest and good. Okay, so when you meet your soulmate, you can forget about all the things that happened in the past that were difficult. It's all going to be in the past, and you're going to heal as well through this relationship. So you are patient now, and everything that's happened has happened for a reason. And the person you are now, you're meant to have gone through what you've gone through to be the person you are now. But heal from the old pain that it felt soul destroying. That's the word that pops up. It was a soul destroying thing that happened, and it's stirring you up now through events and situations to make you deal with it, so that you deal with it before you meet the soulmate. If not, it could be just like more drama, and you don't want that. The reason why, if you deal with your abandonment issues and your fear of rejection and your fear of fear of being betrayed and fear of losing love, and also where there is a lack of self-love, if you deal with that before you meet the soulmate, it will run a lot smoother, and you won't have a lot of the ups and downs that you end up having often in soulmate relationships. So where you're confused, that's a sign that often you start doubting if there is a real connection. So that can mean that there actually isn't one. But if you haven't dealt with those issues, it's easier to then think, but maybe you doubt, like maybe you're wrong, and you start doubting where you shouldn't be doubting yourself. And then when you do meet the soulmate, you then aren't prepared either, because then you know it's a real connection, but then you get so scared of losing the connection. So even though you have clarity, then there's still the fear. So what happens then, sometimes people actually avoid the soulmate, and they actually aim for someone else who's like a safer choice, where they can have where they don't have to deal with their fear and what has been painful in the past. So the soulmate course that I did was all designed to deal with all of those issues and prepare somebody. And Edith, I don't know, because I know you had a reading with me. Did I give you the PDF where you get to work on those? Because if I didn't, let me know and I'll email it to you. But those 6 blocks that are in the PDF, you can actually do all of them, even if they didn't show up as a block. You can still do them because we're all connected, we're all one. On some level, we are actually blocked where someone else is blocked as well. And even the people that we're around, we can easily take on their stuff as well. And you could be whoever you are with, when you're with your friends and whatever they're going through. On some level, we share a lot. It's all on a subconscious level, but we do share a lot of similarities actually, and we intend to take on board things as well. So it's a good idea to just go through all of the blocks, and you'll start feeling different. You start feeling a breakthrough, and if you start feeling off again, if you start feeling like way down, then you can redo them. Okay. So yes, because I feel like the soulmate that you're going to be with is going to be an extraordinary person, and that's why also you haven't you've been blocked from relationships so that you are going to be available to meet this person. Okay, let's go on the other questions. There has been a lot of questions because of my delay in doing this webinar. So let's have a look here. Okay, so from Arietta, you use the Tarot Talents link under the home bar, so you guys can go and check that out on the link. So you want a special edition on the topic. So sometimes, basically what I did is I found a list on the internet about all the different talents that when people are going to find their perfect career and they're getting screened by like a recruitment agency, they actually looks for what sort of talents they have. So I thought, okay, that's a good idea to do when you want to find what your life purpose is and what it is actually meant to be doing. So that list is actually from it's like what they look at when they want to recruit people and see where they were going to put people. And then I went through each thing and asked the tarot, what is the talent? What cards describes this talent? And the cards showed me. And so now when I go through it, some cards repeat itself a lot. But for example, you can go through the list. It's hard to remember, but once I went through the list and I wrote it all down, when I want to look at someone's talents, I would pull out 2 or 3 cards and I would look at where that card actually display like there's a talent, there's a skill. You can also ask a different question, say what are my passions, if you don't know what it is. And you can have a look what shows up, but what you feel passionate about. And sometimes we don't know because we haven't been in a situation where we'd be doing those things. And then you can combine that with the tarot and occupation list. And then you can actually find out more about what you're passionate about. If you lay out the Celtic Cross, for example, it's 10 cards, and you're asking about what is your passions, and you get a lot of wands, that means sport, competition, travel, energy, where you get to use a lot of energy, where you're moving around a lot, physical jobs. That could be perfect for you then. If you get swords, it's more mental, intellectual jobs. Maybe where you just have to think a lot, and maybe you're sitting and you have to concentrate over a long period of time. If you get cups, it's creative jobs. Hospitality as well, and also where you get to work with people. And also if a lot of court cards show up, then that's a sign that you should work with people as well. Pentacles is business, so that is all like at the management level often. So this is how you can, just looking at the suits that are showing up, determine what you are kind of good at and what you're meant to do. If a lot of major arcana cards show up, it's more trickier, because a major arcana cards can mean that you are not, basically you're being kind of guided through a flow of situations and series of events that will teach you a lot about who you are, and until you've gone through that, you're not really ready to see everything about what you're meant to be doing, because you haven't been prepared, and you need to change a bit as well, maybe through meeting people and situations, and that's how you grow. And then you're at the end of that tunnel kind of thing, and you're like, wow, and then you know so much more about who you are, so you can actually then, and then the minor arcana cards start showing up, because then you're ready to kind of grab life by its horn basically and live your life and steer it in any direction that you really like, because then you really know what you do want and who you are through the experiences seen in the major arcana cards. So when the major arcana cards show up, it's often then we're being blocked from seeing everything, because we wouldn't be able to understand it if we did see it. It would be maybe even too confronting for us, because maybe you're meant to do something that's a bit scary, for example, because you're not emotionally maybe ready, or maybe you're just not, you don't have those beliefs that will make you even able to do it. So you need to be prepared, and that's part of your destiny, and that's why the major arcana cards actually speaks of destiny. It's a lot of destiny involved. When you see major arcana cards, something big is going to happen in your life that will actually be hugely part of your destiny and why you actually are on the planet. So let's see another question. Um, okay. Okay, from Indira. A few months ago, I met a great guy, 10 years younger than me. Carried away with this great vibe between us, I reached out to him. And I think that was a mistake because after that, everything got super complicated. He never replied to me, but we sometimes spent time together in the same company. We never talk anymore because I'm so embarrassed for showing interest, I completely avoid him. And as far for him, it's really hard to say. Is he shy or just doesn't want anything to do with me? Or is he just being polite? So let's have a look in the cards. Okay, so I'm going to lay them out. And okay, first of all, there is someone coming in here that is a soulmate. So you don't have to worry about that. What was going on with this person? Okay, so this person is not actually, when you get the two, when you're asking about a relationship, two are always about focusing on relationships or wanting a relationship. So when I'm asking any relationship questions, I look for cups, court cards, and twos. Sometimes I get court cards and cups, but I don't get any twos. And when there's no twos, it means that the person is basically not focused on a relationship. They might not even want a relationship. So when I get one, this is a two in vibration, in numerology. But it showed up sideways. So that means that this person is actually not looking for a relationship, and that's why he just didn't want to, he just avoided it, so he didn't have to, it was kind of just his way of communicating by not communicating. But basically they're saying that don't worry about this at all, because when it comes to relationship, the right person for you is actually showing up here in the Magician. Okay, so don't worry too much about what happened with this guy. Just to move on from this person, like I said before, when you are confused, it's a sign that it's just not meant to be. And here you are in the secret position as utterly confused. And this person is represented here by Four of Cups, and it's just not really interested. So all you have to do is to just let this situation go, because the Magician is there showing you that there's someone that's very much going to be a good communicator coming in to your life. And it will make things a lot easier and much easier to understand, and that confusion won't be there then. So let's see what archetype you will have in the new love interest coming in. I'm going to use Norse Gods and Goddesses deck. Okay, so you get Heimdall. Heimdall is someone who's serious. He's someone who's often in a manager role or a teacher mentor role or in some sort of protective role. So this is someone, they're often in some type of authoritarian role. So they're very serious because they have to be. I see this card in teachers, police, and managers. But when they're a manager, they're often very they manage by teaching. That's how they manage. And when they are when they're in the police force, the way they do that is that they care actually a lot about people as well. So they try and life coach people that are on the wrong track. So these are kind of the teachers of the world. And that is a soulmate that I see. And this is someone who is going to be this is someone who you can trust, you know, to be a stable person, basically, so you know where you stand. So when you guys ask about relationship questions now and soulmates and things, I'm going to keep using this deck as well because this is such a fun deck to use. Okay, Diane. I've been feeling like I can't go on in life the way it is. For all my life I wish to move to a certain place, to start a new life and to make music with people there. In my independent woman mind, all I want is to get more money from my business to be able to move there and also continue with my musical goals, which are extremely important to me. But I have a feeling, I think it's intuition, that actually the thing that will make me move there is a relationship with a guy and also friends. I feel a connection to those people that I usually don't feel with other people. It's like feeling truly at home and at peace, and in peace. And hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but I do understand, because this is what I actually do understand. This I lived in Norway, felt like completely like an alien, moved to Australia and felt like I was home. So I do understand sometimes the place you live, you can be in a completely the wrong place. I'm always fighting my emotions, and I try to be as rational as possible most of the time. I'm quite tired of it and sad and want to do what my heart wants. I've never found anyone better than you, thanks. And I tried to get a paid reading previously, but never found the link for it. Now, the reason I sometimes don't do the paid reading is just because I just don't always have the time to do them, and then I just fill in people to have a reading in the webinar instead. But I will look at your situation now. So, and I want, so I'll keep the information private, but I'll do your numerology. So you're born on a 2-day, you have a 3 attitude. And you're a 1 life path. 1 life path usually do really well in their careers. And you are in a personal year of 4. That means that your life path number and the year cycle you're in is not compatible. So that means that this is a year where the 4 vibration is actually it could feel like everything is kind of like difficult. 4 is a number for you can run but you can't hide. It's when you have to deal with the things that are uncomfortable. The good news is next year you're in a year cycle of 5. Now that is a year where a lot of people actually do make big changes, and 5 is a natural match to your life path number 1. So being a 1 life path, that means you can become number 1 at whatever you do. So if you want success in music, you can absolutely achieve that with your numbers. Being a 1 life path, they want to be number 1, and they often do become number 1. They become the best that they can be. So I'm going to have a look here at and also you also have the in your numerology grid, you got the arrow of high activity. So that means that you are always on the go, and sometimes you just need to slow things down a little bit, because you do get exhausted because your mind is constantly going. And people with the arrow of high activity often have an oversensitive nervous system, and they get often very nervous, have nervous energy, and sometimes they're just so exhausted because they feel everything, and they're just like really open to receive everything. That can be exhausting on your adrenals, which can make you feel completely tired and depressed. So basically the place you live in could actually be a trigger for you to, and it could actually be very, very difficult for you. And when things affect us emotionally, our hormones can often become out of whack as well. So you could maybe, the people with the arrow of high activity need to be around in a very peaceful place, and they need to often meditate a lot. They need to be around nature. That calms them down, because it's easier for someone with arrow of high activity to be, halfway out of their body, very ungrounded. And so let's just have a look here at what will happen. Now I'm going to do a timing of event, because next year you're in a cycle of 5, like I said, and that is a lot of people do moves, and they do big moves big changes. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for the arrow of change, and that's when that shows up is when you most likely will move. So because at the moment you're just being very unfulfilled. If you're feeling unfulfilled, that's why you get 4 of Cups at the bottom. So let's have a look. Now the arrow of change is a combination of cards that actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11 and 12. So what I'm looking for now, basically there's a big change here. As you can see, 6 of Swords, and then you have the big Destiny card here. So that's Wheel of Fortune. It often means the place where you always wanted to live. Okay, so it can mean that it's actually going to happen here. The arrow hasn't completed yet, so I'm going to keep going until the arrow is completed, because that's when everything will be more stable in your life. And everything's kind of, the door has been opened and you can walk through it, and it's here. And like we said, it could be a relationship, okay? Now you could be going there here, but maybe not completely move yet. So I look for Wands, one more, Wands, and that's when we have the motivation and the energy to do it. Wands is also spiritual energy. So you got Wands, and you got Wands there, and you got Wands. So you have the energy to go to do this. You have the motivation to do it. Then what I'm looking for is the number 5. Like I said, you're in a cycle of 5. 5 is the number that feels so boxed in and trapped that when we're in that energy, we are willing to take the risks that we normally wouldn't want to take. Now you had a 5 here in Temperance. That means here you are combining 2 elements together. It could be where you're living now with partly where you want to go. And things are coming together for you. But then I also need a door to open. The door is the ticket. And the door opens with the Knights, any Knight. And you've got, well, first of all, you got another 5 here in the Hierophant, but then it's followed straight with the Knight. So that's the arrow has been completed, and it has all the elements, and you want one of the elements, the number or the court card, to repeat itself. So I needed either the number 5 to repeat itself or the Knights to repeat itself. So we got double 5 with Knight of Cups. So I feel like 12, 11. So almost in 2 years' time. But it could happen sooner. But I feel like this is where you really are. The door really opens for you here, and this can also have to do with your career as well. So I feel like relationship and career, there's a door opening in both areas. So when it comes to music, Knight of Cups is a very musical card. But because it's following straight after the Hierophant, I feel like this could actually be a relationship. But it will be a relationship with someone who is also creative as well. So I do feel like you're on the right path pursuing this, because I feel like this is part of your destiny. And I feel like it is what you really want to do. And our heart desire, it tells us what we're meant to be doing, and it's where you're going to be fulfilled. So now you're going to put everything together and pursue it, and you're not going to give up until you get it. Okay, so I feel like almost in 2 years' time. Yeah. And you can totally do this. This is, if you guys want to learn how to do the arrows technique, there is a link on the homepage on my website, and it will take you straight there. You can also just, there's a short version of the course where you just strictly learn the arrows technique. Nothing else, not card meanings or anything like that. It's not a full course, it's just the arrows. And there's a link there on the website as well. Okay. Okay, Binda. I keep getting the Lovers and 3 of Pentacles for a love connection through work. it has been mentioned by other tarot card readers and the guidance that this is where it is meant to happen. Can you do me a spread for work and see what will happen? Okay, let's have a look. So let's have a look at where you're most likely to find love, and I'm going to use the arrows technique again to see. And also individual card meanings. You read them together and I'll explain as I go. So you got King of Wands here. So that means you're going to meet someone very exciting who is passionate, and you probably will share the same passions in life and the same interests. So when you make good decisions, when you follow what you're truly passionate about, that will lead you to the soulmate. And I feel like your soulmate is someone who's... the reason why it comes up with the work card, and actually showed up here in the soulmate position, actually showed up with 3 of Pentacles. Your soulmate is most likely someone who could be actually an earth sign. This could be someone who is in astrology an earth sign, and that's why it showed up with the Lovers card. It shows up here that you're going to most likely meet when you are, like I said, you have some kind of similar interest and passion. That's where you get the Sun and the Star and the Fool there. Also get the Strength, so you're very similar in your interest and your hobbies. And you got the Pentacles. You got a lot of Pentacles, so that also means that the way you would structure and your life, the way your routine would sort of, the way you would structure your life, the way you structure your routine would be similar as well. So basically what they're saying is that there could be more education coming for you. I feel like you're someone who's incredibly intelligent and you have a lot of natural skills and abilities, and there's something you are very passionate about that you did from a very young age that you very natural ability for you to do, but you won't always get the rewards for it. So they're just saying you need to be in a leadership position, and to get into the leadership position you might have to do some more training, because at the moment it's almost like you know how to do everything, but you might lack a little bit in the ambition. Because I feel like there's more there's almost going to be like a public recognition around you. That's what the Star means, and I feel like you could meet through work, but you need to be, they're saying you're going to do a little bit more, you're going to develop yourself more, because I feel like the role you're going to be in, it's almost like there's like a little bit of publicity around that, and you might be in front of people and doing a lot of public work. So they're saying you're going to do some more training, and I do feel like you're going to meet through what you're doing, and you share a lot of the same interests. Now let's do a reading on the archetype of this person, this love interest of yours, and I feel like this is a soulmate. So let's have a look. Okay, so you get Baldur as the archetype. So Baldur is someone who is very loving and sweet, and who brightens up the room, who has gone through a lot of difficulties often and comes through the other end. So this is someone who could have a bit of a troubled past, but like I said, comes through the other end and is like renewed and has been gone through a lot of times I see Baldur as someone who it's almost like they lost themselves at one point and then they found themselves again, and because they were lost they've gone through that whole finding themselves process, and therefore are actually really they know themselves really, really well. But recognize Baldur as personalities that they're just so incredibly, they're very good-hearted. They have a very good heart, and they have a strong empathy to others, and they're often able to really help others. So it could be that you're going to meet through some kind of humanitarian work, okay, that you're going to be doing. That's almost what it looks like to me. Actually, it does look like that, because the star is also the card I got before. It's like, and it was also crossed here with the Six of Pentacles. It's like almost like you give a lot. And the star often speaks of helping humanity in some way. So you could meet through some kind of common interest in helping other people, helping humanity, and getting recognition for it as well. Okay. Okay, so I know I promised one of you on the, I think it was actually on the one of the comments that I was going to read for you, but I cannot exactly find it. So if you are watching this, resend me the question and do it on the contact form, because I cannot find it now, because I was meant to do the webinar and then it got delayed, so I think I lost it. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna read now for Raj. Reading to move house. When will it happen? So there's a delay in the property deal. Let's see if it will go through, or if it's going to be difficult. Let's find out. Okay, so the sun is at the bottom, so that it could have already happened. Let's have a look. Okay, so you're getting, I feel like this will work out really well for you, because you get the Empress at the end here. So the delay is just a delay, I feel. So you get double 5, and remember I said about the 5s, and you're looking for the wands, which is the energy of things will happen. You just have to push a little bit more on this, because it's almost like when the knights then don't show up, it's like that door hasn't opened yet, but it's just a matter of time. So you just have to push a little bit harder, and that's why 5 of Wands showed up there. Put a bit extra pressure on it, and then it will happen, because I feel like it's just a delay, basically. That's what I feel. And also the Empress shows here up that there will be more abundance in your life. And whatever you're doing now if you're doing any type of training or studying, if you're currently undertaking that, then it will bring you a lot of abundance as well. So that just tells me you're actually on the right track as well with that. Okay, Shirley. I've been single for a while now. I can't seem to meet a like-minded man. I did meet someone overseas who was somewhat suitable. And what are the chances of meeting up with him again? I travel a lot in work, and I do sense I would have to meet someone through my work. As this is the only way I'm likely to meet a like-minded man. Okay, let's have a look. So you're getting Knight of Wands here, which means excitement and adventure, and often someone who is very well traveled as well. They're just saying you just have to avoid drama and avoid. It could mean also that someone in the past could have also been not all what they seemed as well. There is someone coming in a sort of surprise position here. That is that will learn from you. So it's almost like someone's going to learn something from you. Almost like you're gonna show this person something or present something almost, and that's how you're going to meet. You're going to be in some kind of role where you're going to be communicating, and that is what they say, and that's how you're going to meet this person. So I'm going to also ask about the archetype of the person, the suitable person. This person is calm. This person is excited. exciting and will make your life exciting, but this person is also has some kind of is very calm as well. So that's good, because that's what you need. You need someone who's exciting but also is grounded, and that's what they say this person is. So let's find out more. The archetype of the soulmate that you will meet. Okay, so you get Sleipnir. Sleipnir will show up when there is someone who's often very different from us in the way we have lived our lives. It could be someone from another country. And again, it showed up first with Yggdrasil, which in this deck it speaks of where you, in an area that you have expertise, that you also will be able to teach others. So that's how you would meet. Like, it's what I said here. It's almost like he will learn something from you. So this person is from just different culturally. Will have might even speak another language than you as well. But you'll be able to communicate with this person, and this person is very adaptable. Like this is what I said, grounded but exciting. This is someone who can be in all different types of situations, live in many different places, and be able to do really well. This is someone who is extremely well at adapting. So that's how you recognize this person as when you meet this person. So this person will most likely have this is someone you can almost place anywhere in the world and he look like a local. Some people have that energy. Wherever they go, they look like they just fit in. That's a person. And that's how you recognize your soulmate. Okay, guys, I am gonna end this webinar now, and I'm just gonna wish you all a good week, and I'm gonna continue making more videos and tutorials. If you have any questions on any of my webinars or anything like that, any questions about tarot, please feel free to contact me, and I'll answer you at the best of my abilities. Now, if you're doing any of my tarot spreads and you want a reading, and you're asking and you're putting in the cards that you got on Tarot Wikipedia, put the question on one of the cards, not the spreads, because those pages with the spreads are slowing down now because there's so many comments on them. So if you move them around a little bit, so let's say the final outcome card was 3 of Cups, for example. Then just post it on 3 of Cups, just post what spread you used and the cards, and then I'll answer there instead. And then we spread the comments around a bit so that the pages will all load fast. If not, some of the pages will start to load very slowly. All right, okay. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bismillah, Heartbeat of Sufi. It is time for us to make a spiritual migration from the knowing to the righteous. Our souls overcome to make a self-discovery. I guess you don't know who you are, try to know who you are. Who you are is hiding in what you think you are. Redirect your thoughts spiritually, feed your soul so it can be powerful. Seek for the knowledge that lies beyond the scripts, cause the height you seek are not found within the scripts. The spiritual sun is shining. Say goodbye to all your sleeps. I'm knocking on your door just for you to wake up, cause your clock of life is ticking and it shall soon stop. It is time for you to exile from the darkness to the light. I have already been there and the beat is my flight. Journey from the physical world to the spiritual. It's a long journey. You need love, strength and commitment. When the goings get tough, only the tough gets going. Behind all things will soon be justified with your eyes, mind and soul. The existence of the Almighty will be testified. Then you shall be back to the beginning where you and I were united as one. Back to the time of the spiritual world, when there was no dirt, no pain, no anger, no corruption. When there was only love, and that's God. I mean God, G-O-D, Heartbeat of Sufi.